Yeah, people were actually claiming that this little girl had traumatized them by wearing braids that I guess are proprietary. And this is a stupid thing. They're saying, oh, it's proprietary to our culture. I'm like, that's bullshit. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
cultures
Culture
all
are you
over the
talking
world
about?
had braids, okay? Celts had braids. Nords had, Nordic peoples, not Nords like Skyrim, real Nordic peoples had braids. Everybody had braids, okay?
It's just a good way to keep long hair out of your fucking face.
Yeah,
Everybody's done it.
exactly. Yeah, a lot of cultures, men had braids because it wasn't this thing about keeping your hair short, but you needed it to be more manageable than like free flowing hair like women would have.
Yeah.
And
Or
then you
people
have
just thought it
all
looked
kinds
good.
of weird
Whatever, you know.
significance, like okay, here's the number of people I killed, or some bullshit like that.
You know what they need to do? If you're gonna bitch about somebody wearing braids because it's part of your culture, then where's your like neck stretching and your fucking lip stretching?
Yeah,
Are you gonna bitch at those dudes that stretch their earlobes because that's part of your culture too, man?
yeah.
I guess it only matters when they take the part that you apparently just like, I don't know, really like.
Well, it's like, what is offensive about someone showing appreciation for your culture? It's like, hey, I admire you guys. Ah, fuck you, little girl. How dare you? We were
Maybe they were worried she
enslaved
was gonna
once. Really?
steal
Were you
a black
enslaved
man.
by people with fucking braids? Well, no. Well, then shut the I mean, I would have loved it if that little girl had been like, you know what? You can braid these nuts. Shut the fuck up, you hypersensitive bitches with your braids.
Yeah, but ultimately, like, that was probably the best course of action to get people to stop harassing her,
Yeah.
is to just apologize and get them out of your hair.
Yeah, I mean,
No
I can
pun
understand why
intended.
people do it. It's frustrating because it encourages them to
She's
keep
not old
doing
enough
that.
to understand that if you just keep stirring the controversy, eventually you can roll over that attention into some project you're working on.
Yeah, like that screenplay you've been writing in your spare time after shifts at the restaurant.
Oh God, wouldn't it be a Starbucks if you're writing a screenplay on your spare time? It's always at Starbucks, right? Because you want to
Should
be seen
yeah.
to be doing it at the
Oh, yeah.
place.
I mean, you may not get anything done there, but
If a little
damn, do you
blonde
look
white
cool.
girl can't have braids, then I say a black person can't be president because all the previous presidents were white, so it's kind of our thing. It's cultural appropriation.
Definitely.
Could we just offer those people like a mule and a couple acres of land apiece to shut the fuck up? I mean, it worked before.
I'm
You know,
still
they
waiting
should
for
just be
my,
happy we didn't give them smallpox when we took their culture.
Yeah, I think I don't know why that policy ever stopped. It was damned effective. Okay, I'm sorry. Here's a blanket as an apology. just nuzzle right into it. Feel the fabric against your cheek. Rub it all over your face.
No, it's just to keep you warm in the winter.
Well, that's no good because all the people who we fight with now are in warm climates. Oh, except for Russia now, sort of indirectly. We
Yeah.
just need to give Vladimir Putin a blanket laced with smallpox. That'll solve the whole Ukraine crisis.
Or just fucking not do anything and let him do whatever the heck he's going to do over there because it doesn't fucking matter.
I mean, I
Like
wouldn't say
one
it doesn't
poor
matter,
shitty
but-
country is taken from one dictator and given to another dictator. I don't really see why that's different. You know what I mean? Like,
It's kind of, well, you don't want to really cede them anything. It's kind of like Hitler taking the Sudetenland, I guess.
yeah.
Although no Jews are being slaughtered yet.
I bet the hipsters of that day were like, look, how does it affect us? Don't be like, yeah.
well, I could be wrong. I will cede that I am wrong on
Yeah,
a fairly
Stabby.
regular basis.
You fucking pacifist. Where's your patriotism?
Patriotism? Fuck that
Yeah.
shit. That's just a way for people to make you do stupid shit with the rest of the crowd.
Exactly.
Like shame and fucking... What's the other one? Embarrassment. It's just dumb people's way to hold you back.
So purchased this new weapon from this rare weapons dealer. And it's actually the same weapon used by the first real boss of the game.
Huh. Just a giant piece of stone.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like demon bone or something.
Oh, that's interesting.
But it looks to me what a cobblestone axe would look like in Minecraft if it was an actual thing made from just cobblestone.
Yeah, really.
And I reskinned it. Normally it's like a gray. Now I made it look almost obsidian.
Oh, you actually fiddled with the basics of programming?
No, it's a little bit like War Thunder. You can reskin things.
Oh, okay.
As a matter of fact, you can reskin anything. You could even reskin environments if you wanted.
Wow.
Like I would love to make Blighttown look like Candyland.
Yeah.
So I was about to go there. God damn it.
That would actually be hilarious. Like all the wooden planks are replaced with like this peppermint stripe of red and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Just make everything bright, cheerful.
Just make all your weapons look like giant dicks.
I don't think it's possible to change the. What do you?
I mean, I think in the framework of that weapon, you could definitely make it look like a dick, or maybe just a couple dicks cobbled together.
Yeah, that would work. Multiple dicks. Make everything look like just a bag of dicks you swing at things.
This is Dark
Yeah,
Souls,
I see at least.
Champion.
I see at least 3 dicks right
yeah,
there.
not Corruption of Champions. That's a fair point.
The series is doing really well, but I hope to get to a point where it's not like all the channel does.
Oh yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, growing on YouTube these days is tough. But the other thing is, I don't want to do any of the new titles because so many AAA new titles are just such crap. And that's not even me trying to be, you know, showing my hipster bona fides. It's just like they just seem objectively bad and such sleazy, greedy, you know, pay to win first day DLC crap. I mean, they're finding all of these new ways to milk the customer. You know, you have people paying the box price, so to speak, or the original download price, and then paying the kinds of microtransactions you expect in a free-to-play. It's just getting ridiculous.
Yeah,
like
you either make your game free and you can have microtransactions, or you charge for your game and you have everything free in the game. Otherwise, I have no interest in it. I'm not going to play it, you know, at all. Yeah. Period.
I can understand expansions, like if you add a significant amount to a game and still, you know, patch up bugs on the original game. I'd be fine with that, like how WoW did.
Well, but the problem with that is a lot of the time they have the expansion in the game already, and they're just cutting it out and then charging you more for it. Something that they had originally put in the game.
Oh yeah,
like
Total
it's on the
War,
disc.
Whoever makes Creative Assembly, who makes Total War, they do that all the time.
Oh shit! I just got killed by this thing.
God damn, that thing rinsed you.
Yeah. And the guy I summoned is being a jerk. He's like, hey, how could you die? And I'm like, well, it's my first time fighting this thing, so fuck off.
That seems like old games, where you just have to keep going through and try again and again until you figure out the right strategy.
Yeah.
Which is, that actually I can see that as being a positive.
Oh, it is. I mean, the challenge is refreshing. I mean, I like this game just because of the feel and the quality of the design and the world that it's in. If it had been an easy sauce game like Skyrim, I still would have enjoyed it a lot. But I will say that the challenge does make for a different kind of experience when so many modern games are just pants on head easy.
Skyrim, like, depending on the difficulty level you set it at, can be a little more difficult. But regardless of the difficulty level, the problem is that at a certain point, you become so overpowered that it doesn't matter, like, what difficulty level you're on anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of my... when I play Skyrim, I don't even wear armor.
Really?
Yeah. I don't even wear armor. You don't need it.
Just free ball out there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because it makes it actually difficult to live. Like, I'll focus just on offense, so that I have to... It's almost like I'm playing friggin' Dark Souls with a near naked character. It's just... I'll play like a mage, and not wear any armor, any actual armor, just stuff that boosts my casting power, and then so stuff dies easily, but I also die easily, and then it becomes a slightly different kind of game.
Yeah, I played that. The only problem I had was that once you top out enchanting, you can literally make certain types of spells cost nothing.
Yeah.
So if you get like the max level destruction spells, you're just like firing off like a fucking lightning stream for as long as you want that just annihilates everything, which is fun for like 10 minutes, but it's really boring afterwards.
Yeah, I've been debating whether or not to do any Skyrim content for the channel, but there's so many Skyrim playthroughs on YouTube. I don't know.
Yeah, unless you're going to do mod stuff at this point, and relatively new mods if they have them.
Well, I was considering doing my own mods, just modding as I go.
That might work. That might actually get some interest.
Yeah, because what I want to do is I want to take Skyrim and mod it so it's like a Mountain Blade style game where it's both strategy and also action involving your own character.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, because you can already do that if you just use the commands. You can just spawn a bunch of stuff, set their factions, and have them go at each other. But I want to, use the script extender to make turn Skyrim into an actual conquest-based strategy game. Here.
So you're summoning characters that other people play.
These are real players, yeah.
No, so they're actually played by real people at that moment?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So there's sort of limited co-op. There was in the prequel to this, Demon Souls, you could actually be the boss. If, like, for example, if you were playing and I was trying to invade you, like aggressively get into your game at a certain level, I would actually be the end boss, and you had to beat me to proceed.
Oh wow, I don't think I would play that. It's interesting. That's definitely a really, really interesting game mechanic, but
you wouldn't have to worry about it if you went back now, because hardly anyone plays Demon Souls on network anymore.
Oh.
So you just have to fight some weak NPC boss that's really predictable.
Oh man, that's just like a catch-22 though.
Yeah.
Do you fight the really epic fun boss, or that's played by some dude that probably knows like 100 times more than you do about the game?
Oh yeah, yeah. Having superior knowledge of this game when you're doing PvP is just tremendous.
Yeah.
Like, what it is when you invade, you can invade people of your level or higher. And then there's these guys who are counter-invaders, who invade people who have invaded other people, and they invade down. Are
you sure this isn't like Corruption of Champions? Because it sounds like there's a whole lot of like stuffing yourself into other people.
If you got sexually assaulted every time you lost to mobs or other players in this game, I think only a really masochistic player base, even more so than now, would ever play it.
I mean, is there anything stopping them from sexually assaulting you, though?
Well, okay, I mean, like, if a mob raped you every time you died in this game, then some people would get raped 300 or more times just in a typical playthrough. I mean, I've seen people between 300 to 500 deaths by the time if they finished.
Jeez, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But that goes right back to like NES style games.
And people who like came to this clicking on Dark Souls content and don't know Corruption of Champions will have no idea what we're talking about and think we're just really sick.
Well,
there's machines that they have now that you could hook up. So if you played Corruption of Champions, you could literally experience every single thing.
Well, not multiple penises.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe if you got multiple machines and you had like a USB splitter.
I can see that working.
Oh man, I'm sorry. That game just fucking kills me. I love it.
Yeah.
I can't understand why you don't read the walls of text though, because my god, it's like a fucking novel.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's better written than 50 Shades. I imagine it is.
It has to
It's
be.
not really saying much.
Yeah.
It's like, gosh, I wonder if that chocolate pudding in the cup is better than monkey shit. Like, well, it has to be. You know, like there's just
by degrees, by orders of magnitude.
Yeah.
You guys ever watch any Adult Swim shows?
I've watched a
couple.
few.
It's just something he said about the monkey shit. It reminds me of they're doing this Scared Straight program on the Venture Brothers, and he's talking to the kids, and he says, "I bet you guys think that you're all hot shit in a champagne glass, but you're really just cold diarrhea in a paper cup."
Never watched that show, but that's pretty good. I think mostly I watched Robot Chicken. I kind of dug that.
Yeah, I like Robot Chicken. Although all of my friends absolutely hated that show.
What? Why?
I don't know. They just kind of thought it was annoying, and they didn't get it. They didn't understand me. That's what it was. I'm just a
you should
misunderstood
probably
genius.
just take all the stuffing out of your teddy bears.
Hmm?
Well, I mean, if your friends don't like it, you should probably just
Oh.
like cut them up and get rid of those teddy bears.
Well, they're in the closet now. They can't bother me.
Oh dear, what have we here?
I watched a lot of
New servant?
Family Guy. What's the other show?
No eggs.
On Adult Swim. Oh, when Crank Yankers was on there, I think it was.
Oh, that
Watch
was
that.
good. Yeah.
I love the Crank Yankers where Special Ed calls the music store.
Yeah.
Hey, you made a new friend. Oh, that guy was that was so awesome.
Yeah,
That show really needs to come back.
Yeah. Hey, do you know that song?
What
It
is
goes.
Lady.
Yay! And then what's hilarious is the guy just literally doesn't get it right, and you can hear the guy, the comedian playing Special Ed getting legitimately impatient a little bit. It's like, I'm pretending to be, disabled. What is your excuse?
Oh,
Lady,
man.
listen! It's a song!
Is Anita trying to play video games?
Yeah. Have you seen some of the games? She has this thing where she recommends games now, and there are all these games that are like technically puzzle games, but they're really that sort of game that you just can't lose and you play on your phone.
Oh,
It's
Oh,
like,
that's
this
awful.
is pathetic.
just like
You are
the
controlling-
casual. Yeah, they're the casuals of the casuals.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have an issue if what she was doing was legitimately criticizing video games, but she's not. She's actively trying to get rid of video games.
Yeah.
Like the language and everything she talks about is trying to eliminate something. It's like, if you want to add new games with different styles of content and more interesting storylines to you, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Bring on anything. I mean, if I like it, I'll play it. If I don't, I won't. We'll vote with our fucking dollars.
Yeah. And she's
You
like,
know?
well, here's a game that's the industry just won't make, and it's a princess who rescues herself. And I'm like, well, obviously, I mean, what's funny is she puts this footage of Dragon Age Origins in her playlist or whatever, and it's this scene of this one character saying, "Grab a whore." But the thing is, in the very next scene, if you play a female character, you get captured and then you rescue yourself, and you have the option of murdering the
Yeah,
guy who kidnapped you,
yeah.
which is ironic, the exact thing that she said the gaming industry won't make because it's too sexist and hates women.
Yeah, no, it's the problem is she isn't criticizing. She's trying to get things shut down that she doesn't like.
Yeah.
And there's a huge difference between those two aspects. And like, if you say I don't like this game because, and I think it's an awful game, fine. But I don't like this game because of this, and it's awful because of this, and it shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
That's wherein I have an issue with it. Yeah, it's like just and she got 160 grand that we know of. I
No,
mean,
she got more than that. She's that was for that initial thing. She keeps getting donations, and I'm sorry, who in the fuck? You might as well give your money to a Nigerian prince.
Well, I mean,
You
if she's
know-
getting all this money and she's complaining that the industry won't make games, why isn't she just make the game?
Yeah.
Hire yourself a few programmers. You probably need maybe a year or two to do it. 50 to 60 grand a year. I'm sure you could get them to work with you on the cheap. Especially a lot of the indie game designers.
I just
And then make the game you want to make. Yeah. Well, I think what Anita really needs is just some good sex. She just needs some dude to come along and just give her a good solid fucking, and then she'll be fine.
She just needs like Macintosh to put on a strap on and stick it in her mouth.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me to find out that John McIntosh literally just has no genitals. He's just like